Have you ever wondered what would happen if you simply started eating more protein every day? Protein is often associated with bodybuilders, athletes, and muscle growth. But the truth is that protein plays a much bigger role in your body. Your muscles, skin, hair, enzymes, hormones, and immune system all depend on proteins to function properly. But does eating more protein actually make you healthier? Can it help with weight loss? Does it make you stronger? And is there such a thing as eating too much? In this video, we're going to take a closer look at what can happen inside your body when you increase your protein intake every day. 1. You may feel fuller for longer. One of the first things many people notice when they increase their protein intake is that they feel more satisfied after eating. Protein tends to be more filling than carbohydrates or fat. When you eat a meal containing a good source of protein, it can help you feel satisfied for longer, which may make it easier to avoid unnecessary snacking between meals. For example, compare a breakfast consisting mostly of sugary cereal with a breakfast that includes eggs, Greek yogurt, or another protein-rich food. The second meal may leave you feeling satisfied for a longer period of time. This does not mean protein is a magic weight loss food. Your overall calorie intake, food choices, physical activity, sleep, and other factors still matter. However, increasing protein as part of a balanced diet can make it easier for some people to control their appetite. 2. Your body gets more building material for muscle. Protein provides amino acids, which your body uses to build and repair tissues. Your muscles are constantly undergoing a cycle of breakdown and repair. Physical activity, especially resistance training, creates a stimulus that encourages your body to adapt and become stronger. Adequate protein gives your body the raw materials it needs for this process. This is particularly important if you exercise regularly. For example, someone who performs resistance training but consistently consumes too little protein may not be giving their body the nutritional support it needs for optimal muscle growth and recovery. On the other hand, increasing protein intake alongside appropriate strength training can support the development and maintenance of muscle. And you do not have to be a bodybuilder to benefit from this. Maintaining muscle becomes increasingly important as we get older, because muscle mass naturally tends to decline with age. 3. You may recover better after exercise. If you exercise, your muscles need time and nutrients to recover. Protein is an important part of that recovery process, because amino acids are used to repair and rebuild muscle tissue. After a workout, eating a meal containing protein can provide your body with amino acids that support muscle protein synthesis. This does not mean you need to consume a protein shake immediately after every workout. What matters more is getting enough total protein throughout the day and maintaining a balanced diet. Foods such as eggs, fish, chicken, lean meat, dairy products, beans, lentils, soy foods, nuts, and seeds can all contribute protein to your diet. 4. You may find weight management easier. Increasing protein intake can be helpful for people trying to manage their weight, partly because protein can increase feelings of fullness. Imagine that you normally eat a meal that contains mostly refined carbohydrates and very little protein. You might feel hungry again relatively quickly. Now imagine changing the meal so that it contains a reasonable portion of protein, plenty of vegetables, a source of fiber-rich carbohydrates, and a healthy source of fat. That combination may keep you satisfied for longer. However, there is an important distinction. Eating more protein does not automatically cause weight loss. If you add large amounts of protein on top of everything else you already eat, you may simply increase your total calorie intake. The goal is not necessarily to eat unlimited protein. The goal is to make protein a consistent part of a balanced diet. 5. Your body uses more energy to digest protein. Here is something interesting about protein. Your body uses energy to digest, absorb, and process the food you eat. This is known as the thermic effect of food. Protein generally has a higher thermic effect than carbohydrates and fat, meaning your body uses more energy processing protein than it does processing those other macronutrients. This is one reason higher protein diets can be useful as part of a weight management strategy. But again, this effect should not be exaggerated. Eating protein does not suddenly turn your metabolism into a calorie-burning machine. It is simply one of several factors that can influence how your body handles the food you consume. 6. Your blood sugar response may improve when protein replaces refined carbohydrates. Another potential benefit comes from what protein replaces in your diet. Suppose you replace some highly refined carbohydrate foods with a balanced meal containing protein, vegetables, and fiber-rich carbohydrates. That change can produce a different blood sugar response than eating a meal dominated by rapidly digested carbohydrates. Protein can slow gastric emptying and can influence hormones involved in appetite and glucose regulation. But this does not mean that protein prevents blood sugar problems or makes a high-sugar diet healthy. The overall quality of the diet still matters. If you are living with diabetes or another condition affecting blood glucose, your individual dietary needs should be discussed with a qualified healthcare professional. 7. Your bones need protein too. Protein is often discussed in relation to muscles, but your bones also contain a substantial protein matrix. Adequate protein intake can contribute to maintaining bone health, particularly when combined with adequate calcium, vitamin D, resistance exercise, and other healthy lifestyle habits. This is especially relevant as people get older. Strong bones are not simply about drinking milk or taking supplements. Bone health depends on several interacting factors, and protein is one piece of that bigger picture. 8. Your body uses protein for much more than muscle. Protein is involved in countless processes throughout the body. Your body uses proteins to make enzymes that help chemical reactions occur. Proteins are also involved in hormones, transport molecules, antibodies, and structural tissues. Your immune system, for example, relies on proteins to produce antibodies and other components involved in defending the body. So when you eat protein, you are not simply feeding your muscles. You are supplying amino acids that your body can use for many different biological functions. But more protein is not always better. This is where many people get confused. If protein is important, it can be tempting to think that the more protein you eat, the healthier you will become. That is not necessarily true. Your body has nutritional requirements, and once those needs are adequately met, adding increasingly large amounts of protein does not automatically produce increasingly large health benefits. Extremely high protein diets can also crowd other important foods out of your diet. For example, if you focus so heavily on protein that you stop eating enough vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, or healthy fats, your overall diet may become less balanced. A healthy diet is not just about one nutrient. It is about the combination of nutrients and foods you consume over time. 10. Your digestive system may notice a difference. Increasing protein can also affect your digestion, especially if you suddenly make a dramatic change. For example, someone who suddenly starts consuming large amounts of meat and protein supplements while reducing vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains may end up consuming less fiber. That can contribute to constipation or other digestive discomfort. This is why increasing protein should ideally be accompanied by adequate fiber and fluids. Instead of simply adding protein to your existing diet, consider replacing less nutritious foods with balanced meals that contain protein, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, fruits, and healthy fats. The source of your protein matters. Not all protein-rich foods provide the same overall nutritional package. For example, beans and lentils provide protein along with fiber and other nutrients. Fish can provide protein along with beneficial fatty acids. Eggs and dairy products provide protein along with other nutrients. Lean poultry and lean meats can also provide high-quality protein. On the other hand, some highly processed foods can contain protein while also being high in sodium, saturated fat, or added calories. So instead of asking only, how much protein does this food contain? Ask another question. What else am I getting from this food? The best diet is not necessarily the one with the highest protein number. It is the one that provides a balanced combination of nutrients. 12. What about protein powder? Protein powders can be convenient, especially for people who struggle to get enough protein from regular meals. A protein shake can be useful after exercise, as a breakfast addition, or simply as a convenient way to supplement your diet. But protein powder is not required for building muscle or eating a healthy diet. You can get protein from ordinary foods, such as eggs, yogurt, fish, poultry, tofu, beans, lentils, and other protein-rich foods. Think of protein powder as a convenience, not a requirement. 13. You still need carbohydrates and healthy fats. Another common mistake is thinking that increasing protein means you should eliminate carbohydrates or fats. Your body needs a variety of nutrients. Carbohydrates can provide an important source of energy, particularly during physical activity. Healthy fats play important roles in cell structure, hormone production, and the absorption of certain vitamins. And foods such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds provide vitamins, minerals, fiber, and other beneficial compounds. Protein is important, but it should be part of the bigger picture. 14. How much protein do you actually need? The amount of protein a person needs depends on several factors, including body size, age, physical activity, health status, and personal goals. For healthy adults, a commonly used baseline recommendation is around 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. However, people who exercise regularly, older adults, or people with specific nutritional goals may benefit from different amounts. For example, someone doing regular resistance training may require more protein than a sedentary person. This is why there is no single protein target that is perfect for everyone. If you have kidney disease or another medical condition that affects protein requirements, do not dramatically increase your protein intake without speaking with your healthcare professional. Point 15. What happens if you increase protein gradually? If you gradually increase your protein intake while maintaining a balanced diet, you may notice several positive changes. You may feel fuller between meals. You may find it easier to manage your appetite. If you exercise, you may support muscle recovery and muscle maintenance. Over time, adequate protein intake can also help support your body's normal processes, from maintaining muscle to producing important proteins needed throughout the body. But remember, these benefits depend on your overall diet and lifestyle. Protein cannot compensate for consistently poor sleep, inactivity, excessive alcohol consumption, smoking, or an overall unhealthy diet. The bottom line. So, what happens when you eat more protein every day? You may feel fuller after meals, support muscle growth and maintenance, recover better from exercise, and potentially find it easier to manage your weight. But the key word is adequate, not unlimited. You do not need to turn every meal into a giant protein feast. Instead, try to include a reasonable source of protein in your meals, while also eating plenty of vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, and healthy fats. And remember that your protein needs are individual. The healthiest approach is not simply to eat more of one nutrient. It is to build a balanced diet that gives your body the nutrients it needs consistently. Protein is important, but balance is what makes a diet healthy.